everybody, I'm so happy you're here. I'm in my kitchen once again. It's been a while since I've been in my kitchen for a video for you. I'm wearing my apron, so that means I'm gonna be cooking something. But this is something that I'm not gonna eat. I know, making something in the kitchen that I'm not gonna eat? That's crazy. This is something that I'm not gonna eat, but it's something I can make homemade with the ingredients I have right here in my apartment. I didn't have to buy any of these things. It's just what I already have in my apartment. And this is something that you can try making at home with your ingredients at your home. And it's something you don't eat. It's something that you can play with. It's something that you can mold it to make different shapes. What do you think it could be? Something you don't eat, something you can play with, something you could form to make different shapes. It's Play-Doh! Today I'm going to try to make some Play-Doh. So, I'm going to show you how to make the Play-Doh, and maybe you can try making it at home with some ingredients that you have. So, I'm going to show you the different tools that we're going to need to make this Play-Doh, and then we're going to get started. So, the tools that you're going to need to make the Play-Doh are, I have this pot here with a rubber spatula. We're going to heat it up on the stove. So this is a job for Mommy and Daddy. We're going to heat it and mix it up on the stove. So it'll be a nice pot, a spatula. We'll need a 1 cup measure, and we'll need a tablespoon. For some of the ingredients, we need to measure out 2 tablespoons worth. So that is 2 of these, 2 tablespoons. And then we also need, what I have is I have a cookie sheet with parchment paper, and I have some flour sprinkled over it. So you just need a flat area where you can sprinkle flour on top so you can mix the Play-Doh together so that it becomes Play-Doh. So that's what I have here. I just have a flat baking sheet with some flour on it ready to go. So these are the tools I need to make the Play-Doh. So we know the tools that we need to use to make Play-Doh. Now we need to know the ingredients. So to make the ingredients that we need, we're going to need 1 cup. Here's what we needed to measure. 1 cup of flour. I have my flour in my big canister, and I scooped it out, and then I used the back of a knife, and I put my knife over it to make sure it's nice and level. So I'm going to double check again. It's nice and level. So we need 1 cup of flour. And then we also need salt. I just have some of this salt that was in my cupboard. We need some oil. We need a special ingredient called cream of tartar. Let's see, there you go. Cream of tartar. We need some warm water. I boiled this water, so now I'm just letting it cool off. So it's hot, but it's not too hot. So that's why I boiled it. Now I'm just letting it cool down, just so that it's warm water. So we need warm water. And last, so this isn't just any normal kind of Play-Doh we're making. Today we're going to make Jello Play-Doh. So I have some lemon Jello Play-Doh. So it's going to smell like lemon. Now remember, this is not something you want to eat. It might smell really good, and it's something that you don't want to try to eat. But I have some Play-Doh, or some lemon Jello. But you can use any kind of flavored Jello. And if you want to make the colors extra bright, you can also use some food coloring. So those are our ingredients. Those are our tools that we needed to use to make the Play-Doh. So now that we know the ingredients and our different tools, let's get started. Alright, so I'm over by my stove now. So I have my pot and my spatula ready to go. So here are the steps that you need to follow. So I'm going to add my 1 cup is how much I need. I have this fun little measuring cup, so I need 1 cup of warm water. Put that into the pot. I don't have the pot turned on quite yet. I'm going to wait till I put all the ingredients on, and then I'll turn it on. So I have 1 cup of hot water, or warm water. I have 1 cup of flour. Ooh, it gets everywhere if you're not careful. So 1 cup of flour. And then here's where you need your tablespoon measure. You need 2 tablespoons of salt. So I have my cup that I just used to measure in my flour. So I'm actually going to pour the salt over that in case the salt goes over the spoon, in case I overfill it. Then it just goes into this little cup measure and I can save whatever falls out. So I'm going to pour that in. So there's 1 tablespoon of salt. I'm gonna measure that in nice and neat. Sometimes I like to hum to myself when I bake and cook. Ooh, it's almost ready. Alright, there we go. So, now I have 2 tablespoons of salt. Alright, now I'm going to do the same thing again with my cream of tartar. I need 2 tablespoons of my cream of tartar. This is something that your mommies and daddies can find in with all the spices. Pour that in there. And I can use the back of my knife to level it to make sure that it's the exact amount I need. So I'll use my knife to level it again. See how I'm just taking the back of my knife and I just scrape it out. So there's 1 tablespoon of cream of tartar. Put in a little bit extra. Here we go. Whoop! I got a little full, but that's why I have a handy dandy back of my knife. To do my 2nd tablespoon of cream of tartar. Now I have my oil that I'm using. I have vegetable oil, but you can use other kind of oil that you have at your house. Same thing again, I'm going to kind of measure over my cup, so this is going to have all my little extra ingredients. So yeah, I'm going to pour it in gently. I need 1 tablespoon of oil, and then 1 more to make 2 tablespoons of oil. Ooh, ooh. 2 tablespoons of oil. Alright. Then, my last ingredient I'm going to add in here is my lemon Jello. Oh, so it's going to smell nice and lemony. I'm going to rip the paper and pour the lemon Jello into the pot. So I have all my ingredients here in the pot. So now I'm going to turn on the oven. This is something that mommy or daddy can do. I'm going to put it over medium heat and I'm just going to start to stir and mix it up. I'll have to mix it for a few minutes. I'll keep mixing it until all of the ingredients come together to form the dough. They're going to come together kind of into a ball, so we'll cook it until it's ready to go. I'll check back in when it's all set. Alright, boys and girls, so after about 5 minutes, I was constantly mixing it. And remember, this is a job for mommy or daddy because the oven is really, really hot. So this is something that mom and dad need to do. So it took me about 5 minutes to mix, and then suddenly I'll show you what happened to the dough as I mixed it. Look what happened. What started out as some flour and some other ingredients has turned into a ball of dough, and it's really hot. So I kind of what I just did, I just flipped it out of the pot, and it's right now, I'm going to let it cool for a little while on my pan. I'm going to let it cool in the flour pan for about 20 minutes, and I'm going to come back to it when it's all nice and cool, and I'm going to add in a little bit more of yellow food coloring because it's pretty yellow, but I want it to be a little yellower. So I'm going to let it cool down for about 20 minutes, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to use my hands, and that's something you can do once it's nice and cool. We'll use our hands and we'll mix it together until it's no longer sticky. So I'm excited to see what happens to it after it cools down. Alright, boys and girls, so I just went on a walk and my Play-Doh is now nice and cool. So I'm going to add in, like fun ruined. Oh, right here. I'm going to add in a few drops of food coloring. This is just going to make it a little bit more yellowy, a little bit more vibrant. So I'm just kind of adding in some food coloring. And now I get to use my hands to mix it up. Let's see if I can bring the camera down a little bit. So now you can see the Play-Doh. I'll take my watch off. So now I just get to mix it up. And that, boys and girls, is how you make Jello Play-Doh. So I can take off a little bit of it, I can roll it around, make a Play-Doh ball, I can squish it, make it into a log, and once I make it into a log, I can form it into different letters or numbers. See, now it is the letter C or the letter O. If you make multiple logs like that, you can make different kinds of letters. So I hope you have fun trying to make your very own Play-Doh. I almost forgot to tell you, wasn't it? So here is my Play-Doh ball. It's nice and yellow. So now I'm going to put it into a container so that it's airtight, so it's sealed, so no air gets to it. If I leave it out in the open, it's going to dry up and get kind of crusty. So I'm going to put it here in this container, and I may even put this in a Ziploc bag. I just want to make sure my Play-Doh is nice and locked in and that no air tries to get into it and gets crusty. So now I can keep this on my counter or even in my fridge and see what it feels like to play with cold Play-Doh or warmer Play-Doh. And I'm just really excited because now I have some Play-Doh that I get to play with. And maybe you got to make some of your own Play-Doh and now you can play with it at home. Make different shapes, make different things with your Play-Doh. And you can use all different colors, all different flavors of Jello, and just keep having fun creating. I love you all. Bye!